So my client Danny just went 3 for 3 in first meetings. So 3 prospects, 3 yeses, one with £1 million in pensions who already agreed to go ahead before the meeting ended. And I know exactly why this worked, because the thing behind the same thing is what nearly killed my business when I pivoted. So here's Danny first, and then I'll show you.
And actually, the guy who's got quite a few pensions, so he had about £1 million worth of pensions just spread across various platforms. And after kind of going through the process and everything, by the end of the meeting, he was like, "Yeah, I'm happy to go ahead with you putting the advice together."
So that's the result. So here's why I knew exactly what was behind it. So a while back, I pivoted my business, years serving mortgage brokers, then I moved into serving wealth advisors. I still do serve mortgage brokers, but it was a bit of a strategic shift to go purely from brokers to add wealth managers into the mix. And my offer obviously needed to be different for the wealth side, and it just wasn't straight. So I could tell on the calls that it wasn't really landing. And people were asking me things like, so what exactly is it? What do you do? And I did what everybody does. I explained more detail, more services, more credentials, but that all just made it worse. It's like overwhelming and overkill. So because that isn't a request for information, it's a symptom. It means the person in front of you can't hold what you're offering in the head, and a confused prospect just doesn't buy. So they go away and think about it, which means they just go away. So I rewrote my offer until a stranger could repeat it back. Who it's for, what they get, what happens next. So before that, before I got the offer straight, it took me probably 2 minutes to explain what I did. After one sentence, and it achieved that goal. And the calls changed also almost immediately. So in Danny's situation, his first meetings, he'd only ever explain what that first meeting involved, never the whole kind of journey. So then he started to lay out the entire process from start to finish. So this is how I work. This is each stage. This is what you have at the end. So listen to what happens after this.
So it was just like a little small win for me using that. I thought it was really good. You're obviously going through that with the client. I mean, when I'm doing my first meetings, I don't tend to go as in depth as to explain what the overall process looks like. I usually just explain what the first meeting entails, but I think explaining the overall from start to finish actually helped. I saw the customers actually used it again on Wednesday as well, and had a similar sort of response from it where they were just like, "Yeah, I'm happy to go ahead." So I think laying everything out, just explaining this is how I work with my clients. This is the process from start to finish. Going forward, I'm going to be using that at every first meeting now. So I think I've had a small win there just from using that.
Because it is, like you say, it just kind of just makes it easier for them to comprehend what they're going to get out of it, and the value that they're going to get out of it, and what you're going to be. It's just, yeah, that because I've just recently transitioned into like more the wealth side, still used to club brokers, but when I first started, I'd not got that straight. I'd not got the offer straight. And I could tell on the calls that it just wasn't landing. And people were just like, so what exactly is it? Okay, what do you do after? And then, but that's how you learn, isn't it? You find by just putting stuff out there, you think, right, nah, I need to get that offer straight. And ever since I did, yeah, things have just, like you just know what they're getting. And it makes it so much easier for them because it's that ambiguity and that confusion. If you get any of that, you're just not, even if they half understand it, but they've got a lot to think about, they'll go away and think, what was that all about? Like, but if you just lay it out to right, and that way, it just cements it, I think. So yeah, that's a positive early on. This isn't it? It's true causing.
Yeah, as I said, it's definitely helped with them making the decision, and I think them knowing what the next steps look like. There's nothing hidden in the dark, if you like. But I think, well, everyone that I used up, I've had 3 first meetings, 2 yesterday and 1 the day before, and I've used that, and all 3 of them at the end of the meeting have said, "Oh yeah, I'm happy to go ahead." So that just goes to show that they're able to make a decision because they know what the whole process from start to finish looks like. So yeah, as I said, really happy with that.
So 3 first meetings and 3 prospects who've said that they're happy to go ahead. And one of those included £1 million worth of pensions just agreed in that room. So now one client's results are one client's results, but I've lived on both sides of this. So when my offer wasn't straight, nothing landed. When it did, everything changed. So your offer is downstream from 80% of your success, whether that be in terms of marketing campaigns, whether that be Facebook ads, whether that be LinkedIn, whether that be YouTube, Google ads, wherever that messaging is. It's getting that right just depends on 80% of the success. 80% of the reasons why campaigns fail is down to that one thing, just not getting your offer right. And just a really good tip, something that's really helped me in this process, is a book called $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. So that book just lays it out just a lot better than I can on a 10-minute video. So I'd really suggest either reading the book, or there's like reviews that, or should I say summaries of it on YouTube. Just have a dig into that. And yeah, just when you do that and you make that kind of just that simple change, the principle travels. So if your prospects seem confused or they're going away to think about it, the problem is rarely your expertise. It's down to whether they can see clearly what they're getting and what happens next. So it's something I do. If this is like a bit of a pro tip, if you're struggling with this and you're getting those kind of, I'll think about it on calls, just write down word for word what you actually do and read it back, and just think to yourself, would a stranger know who it's for and what they get and what happens next? If not, then the chances are that you found your leak. So there is something that I offer in terms of my ultra high net worth deals community. So it's free to access this, and the first part of our pipeline builder course is free, which helps you define your ideal client. It shows you how to use AI to do in-depth market analysis into that ideal client, and it shows you how to put together an offer that really cuts through the noise. And the prompts, it's all AI heavy, and that we use every step of that process in terms of there's the market analysis. We can do really in-depth market analysis in minutes now using Perplexity, which is a really good deep research tool, and also prompts which are baked into that book that I just mentioned there, the Alex Hormozi book. So it'll take from the learnings of that book within the prompting that we use, which is all included in that part of the course. So it's linked below. It's on a platform called School. So it's school.com. That's school with a K. So skool.com/AI Wealth Partners. I'll drop the link below, and I'll include a QR code on the screen, so you can just scan the code and it'll take you directly there. And so, question for you for the comments then. So what's the most common thing that prospects say at the end of your meetings? And that usually tells you where the leak is. Thank you for your time. Oh, and also there is a video up here that you can watch as well, which goes into why referrals for financial services aren't the best way of generating business. So click the link there, click the link below, and yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Thanks again.